Hi. Hey,
Hello.
Toby. Hello and welcome to this program that I have is called Mars Cafe. So in real life, I would invite you to an actual cafe where we could have this conversation. But since COVID, we're just having a virtual conversation. How are you today? You're just coming back for the next semester of school, right? Tell us where you go to school and what your major is and all that.
Yeah, so I go to Chapman University, which is in Orange County, California. And so I'm about like 6 hours from home because I'm originally from the Bay Area. And so I'm majoring in television writing and production under their Dodge College.
Nice, nice. That's a great school. I know you, of course, as a musician, though. I discovered through recommendations your song Sunflower, which maybe I'll play later for people to see. When did you start writing music?
Ever since I was in elementary school, I was always writing little stories. My friends and I would like pass around books in like little notebooks in class and be writing like little made up stories about girls falling in love or whatever it was. But I started actually seriously kind of writing music in the beginning of middle school. And then seventh grade was kind of like when I started to perform at school events and then outside things and family stuff. And that's when I kind of really started taking it more seriously and got really into writing, and now it's like one of my biggest passions.
Were you always into the music part as well, like writing music? Did you, of course, like most Asian and Filipino-American kids, you played an instrument? What instruments do you play?
I never played like something traditional. Like my parents always grew up learning the piano, as did like a lot of Filipino households. But I would always just like sit and listen to my parents play, and they would just kind of, I don't know, that really inspired me. But I think I first learned the guitar, and like my sister kind of helped me with that. So that was probably the first instrument I ever picked up.
And so now when you write music, is it to the guitar or like do you hum them? What's the process?
I feel like the process is really different for each song, kind of just depends on the experience or if I'm writing that's not based on a real experience. But usually if like something big happens in my life, I'll have to like sit down and I don't know, hum. I'll always be humming like any kind of voice note into my voice memos that like saves me for songwriting. But most of the time I'll come up with a chord progression either like on the piano or on the ukulele or the guitar, and then kind of just goes from there.
So cool. What who are your musical influences?
I love a lot of like kind of indie singer-songwriters, kind of like what I do. Billie Eilish is obviously a really big inspiration for me. My dad and I love listening to her music. And also since I make a lot of my music with my brother, that's her like whole story is really inspiring. Um, who else? There's an artist named Gracie Abrams that I really like, and Olivia Rodrigo. She has like the number one song right now in the world. She really inspires me a lot with her songwriting. I also love Taylor Swift. She's she's
She's
great.
a good storyteller, I
Yes.
guess. Wow. So all female inspiration right there. Dude, you could so be Olivia Rodrigo. You're next, Toby.
Oh.
So many things in common. The Filipino,
Mhm.
in you, the singer-songwriter, and I guess it's kind of like a bedroom pop with Billie Eilish stuff. And I think your song also came recommended on my playlist because that was the vibe that I was into. Some Biba Doobie, stuff like that.
Yes.
Um, so cool. Now is your chance to shine, I guess. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, one fun fact, your dad had a pretty big punk band in the Philippines back in the day.
He did.
Um, so any punk influences in your life, or do you listen to the music that he listens to from that time as well?
I I don't listen to a lot of punk, but I recently started getting into the Gorillas, which is like, I guess, is that like, I don't know what
Yeah,
genre
that's
that was exactly.
yeah, it's true. That was like alternative indie back in the day, nice, nice, very
But I've
cool.
started like recycling a lot of like the music he listened to, and so whenever I'm home, I like play it in the car, and he's like, "You know this?" And so that's always fun to like exchange music with him. But he definitely had an influence on like my music taste in
Right.
general.
So you mentioned a brother and a sister. Are there just three of you? And are you the middle, the
I'm the young,
youngest?
I'm the baby. Yeah.
Um, what else are you into besides music and writing?
I love hanging out with my friends, and I love just like, I don't know, I love making stupid videos or just like, I don't know, just hanging out. And I love TV shows, I love movies,
What are
all
you
of those.
watching currently? Like your current
Um,
fave?
I just finished the TV show The Good Place, which I
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
sure about. Not sure if I would like that, but I don't know. I came to really love the characters. I also finished like a few months ago. I finished Master of None, which I loved. I absolutely love that show. And then Atlanta is probably one of my favorite shows.
Really? I haven't gotten to Atlanta,
Oh,
but
it's so good.
cool, cool, cool. Okay,
Uh,
what are you now that you're back in school? You're at, it's the second half of your freshman year. What have you discovered about college and did it live? Of course, it's a different situation because you're not in class or out partying with people, which is part of the college experience. But what have you learned and stuff?
Academic wise, I've learned just like a lot about asking questions, and like there's so much I didn't know about the industry, like music involved too, but also a lot about just like the entertainment industry in general. And so I've been like learning to be okay with asking questions and kind of like making mistakes. And I don't know, since you're just here to like experience everything, it's okay to explore and see what you like more or like less or absolutely hate doing. So that's kind of what I've just been like growing into.
Did you get, bummed out like when COVID hit and you're not actually going to be in person, meeting with people and stuff like that? What were your feelings? Because I've been hearing, a lot of people are depressed because of it, but you seem like a really cheerful, check out the smiley behind you, person. So how, and I'm sure like some of your friends, I'm sure they're bummed about it. How have you been coping and how have they been coping or how have you been helping them out?
Right. It definitely was not easy, especially being a senior in high school around like this time last year, and um, especially with my friends too. It's hard not seeing your friends and being isolated. And I wrote a song about that, which I can sing. I plan to sing later.
Ooh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It definitely was not easy in the beginning. Lots of crying, lots of missed opportunities like graduation and prom, all these big things. And even the college experience was definitely different. But since like this has just kind of become our world now, a lot of my friends and I and my family too have just kind of learned to be accustomed to it, and it's just kind of another obstacle that we have to like navigate through, which obviously isn't the easiest thing, but it is what it is.
Oh, cool. I mean, I believe that. My son is college sophomore, but he's home. But the attitudes, you guys give me hope because everybody says like, oh, Gen Z, they're, this is gonna be so weird for them. But actually, you guys are adjusting, you're accepting it, you're using the tools that are available, given that this is the world right now. It's not forever, right? And so
Right.
I've seen a burst of creativity, right? Like more people writing music, more people using video, doing live streams. And so that's fun. Have you written a lot of songs during this time?
I have. Not all of them are good, but it's been really good to like keep writing, just like it's basically like a muscle. I always hear songwriters that I love say that how you just have to keep training yourself to just constantly be writing. So that's definitely helped me a lot during this time.
Cool. Can you sing that one song and then we can get back to the conversation I want to chat with you about growing up Filipino-American
Yeah, of
a little more.
course.
Okay. Yay.
Okay. Hopefully I don't mess up because I had to relearn this because I wrote it a while ago. But yeah, I don't really have a name for this song yet, but here, let's see if I can. There we go. Okay. Some nights I still have dreams about you. And honestly, I think it's kind of funny. Actually, it doesn't make me laugh at all. And it's a mystery that I'm avoiding to solve. I've been in my own room for ages. Forgot how the world moved outside. Can anybody say that they're still breathing? 'cause it seems like every waking moment is fleeting. Are we all in the same boat, or am I missing something? Are we just trying to stay afloat? 'Cause right now life is buffering. But I don't feel like myself anymore. I can't tell if I'm super lonely or just bored. I miss my brother and my sister. I miss my friends and the night that I kissed you. But I'm getting too old to say that I hate the way things change. Oh, I hate the way things have changed. Some days are bad, but some are better. At night is when the sadness hits. I wonder when I'll hug my best friends, or introduce myself to the ones that I haven't met yet. Are we all in the same boat, or am I missing something? Are we just trying to stay afloat? 'Cause right now life is buffering. But I don't feel like myself anymore. I can't tell if I'm super lonely or just bored. I miss my brother and my sister. I miss my friends and the night that I kissed you. But I'm getting too old to say that I hate the way things change. Oh, I hate the way things have changed. Oh, I hate the way things change.
Oh my goodness, life is buffering. I love that. It's more ethnically diverse, right? I mean, you've probably noticed like here in Orange County, some parts are not super diverse. So tell us about your growing up years.
Yeah. I would say San Francisco and like kind of those more liberal areas were definitely more ethnically diverse. But where I grew up specifically in Marin County it's very populated with like a very large white population. So I did a school presentation on it for one of my classes, but I think it's like 80.3% white. And
Okay.
the Asian population is like 6% in that. And so I grew up just like surrounded by, big white population. So that's definitely hard being Filipino-American and feeling kind of like an outcast and feeling different than everyone. And it was never really in a negative light. I was never really treated negatively because I was Filipino or whatever it may be. But I definitely felt different. And I knew that like I didn't look like everyone, all my classmates that I grew up with.
So how did you like get over that?
I started like really embracing my Filipino culture, and that came a lot with family and meeting other friends in school and dance or music wherever I was, meeting other Asian kids and kind of not assimilating to them, but just feeling related to them, feeling a connection with them. But also, I never outrightly felt outcasted, if that makes sense.
Oh, have you been to the Philippines?
I haven't. I really wish I have, but hopefully after.
Soon.
I really hope. I really want to go.
Yeah, because so did you were your parents like conscious of, oh, this is our culture, or, was it typical American assimilating into, daily life? Or, did they do concrete Filipino traditions or certain things that they're like, hey, this is your culture?
hmm Growing up, I don't even remember the start of this because it's just something we've always been doing. But lahuran was just like one of the biggest traditions ever, and it still is to this day. And that I think implemented a big part of my Filipino culture.
Which one?
Lahuran,
What's
like
that?
when it's like with all your older relatives, and you bless them, give
Oh,
them
right,
money,
right.
and then they give you money, like that whole thing around like New Year's or Christmas. That was always a really big thing. It still is, especially, I mean, hopefully once COVID is over, we can do all of that again. But just like big events like that and big family parties, I grew up listening to my family singing karaoke at parties, of course, and a lot of Filipino food, a lot of it. So I've grown to love it a lot. And I wish I was bilingual, but I'm not. My parents didn't teach me. I know like little phrases here and there, but yeah, I don't know much Tagalog, but I definitely hear them speak it a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So what's your favorite Filipino food?
Lumpia is a basic answer, but it's so good. Also, my grandma makes like the best pancit ever, so probably those two.
Very cool. So other than traveling, hopefully to the Philippines and other countries after all this is done, what are your plans? Like the school year's ending. We don't know, of course, what will happen in the summer or what it will be like. Do you have any
Right.
plans or goals, something you want to achieve by this year?
Right now, like music wise, I'm working on a new song that's fingers crossed is coming out really soon. So that's kind of my current project. But aside from like music and writing and all that kind of stuff, I just hopefully everyone or like a lot of my friends or family can be vaccinated and I can just like be with them again. Cause I think that's just something that we've lost so much time on. And I would like love to regain that quality time with everyone. So for like the summer especially, those are like my biggest hopes is that we can all hang out again.
Yay, cool. Did you have another song or I can just play your video?
Do you want me to play Sunflower Girl? I can do whatever whatever you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool.
Oh, let's end with Sunflower Girl. This is Tobey Lynn. Um, Here we go.
All right. They feel so close to me, but it's just my party. Oh, always safe inside and never get too